everyone, Mother's Day is this weekend, and what better way to celebrate Mom than taking her to brunch? But before you make your reservations, you'll want to make sure you know all the proper brunch etiquette. Karen Thomas is a certified etiquette expert with ctetiquette.com, and she's going to tell us all about the do's and don'ts of brunch etiquette. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking. So, right off the bat, let's understand what brunch is.
Yes. Absolutely. Brunch is a combination of breakfast and lunch, and it is served between the hours of 10 and 2. So it kind of combines both. So those people that like to eat a little bit later, like I do, rather than eating a breakfast, it combines both types of food. So you have a little bit of luncheon food, and you'll also have breakfast food as well. And
so you have a little bit of lunch food, a little bit of breakfast food. Yes. So that's going to make it so there's utensil food and finger food.
Absolutely.
What is the difference?
Okay. Well, I like to trip people up, especially with the asparagus. And asparagus, it can go either way, and you will find that at a lot of brunches, asparagus, especially now in season, that vegetable. So you can go either way. As long as it is not cooked and there's not sauce on asparagus, it's a finger food.
You see, that shocked me. When you came in and told me you could eat asparagus with my hands, I was like, is my mom going to approve of that?
Right. It is a finger food if it's not cooked. So if it's perhaps maybe wrapped in prosciutto, or if it's just there with a dip, you can eat it as a finger food. Some other finger foods, you have bacon that you'll encounter at brunch. You'll encounter bacon. There's two ways to go with that as well. If it is crispy, it is a finger food. If it is a little bit looser and with maybe a little bit more fat in it, then it becomes a utensil food. So bacon goes both ways.
So you just have to make sure you know how your asparagus or bacon is cooked.
Absolutely. So, you know, you need to do a little studying before you get to brunch. Your berries are finger foods. Your melons would tend to be more of a utensil food. Your eggs, your meats, those would be utensil foods. So, you know, you kind of just have to look. Your muffins, your finger sandwiches, those would all be finger foods.
So what if your berries are in a cup like this, then that becomes a utensil food?
Well, you could use it either way. Etiquette states that berries can be either way. So if you wanted to just pick them up and pop them in your mouth, you're absolutely well within your rights to do so. I prefer, to be honest with you, to use a fork, and I'll tell you why. I don't like to get the juice on my fingers, and it does stain. So I would prefer to use the utensils.
Okay, and going along with food, there's always drink. And you're saying there's drinks that you need to drink before noon and drinks that you drink after.
Absolutely.
What are they?
Well, in the morning for a brunch, there's a lot of times there's mimosas, which is a combination of orange juice and champagne. So before 12 noon, mimosas and Bloody Marys are very popular for brunch. But after 12 noon, any kind of wine served with all of your foods is acceptable.
So if you go to brunch before noon, should you not be expected to order wine?
I would rather see people go with, and etiquette states that you should go after 12 noon with a wine or a mixed drink. It should be after 12 noon. But you should stick along the lines of the mimosa and Bloody Marys, because those are more of a breakfast type of drink if you're going that route.
Okay, so we have our food and our drink down.
Yes.
But what are we going to wear? What do you wear?
Okay, well, attire, you know, if you're having it at your home, you know, jeans are certainly acceptable. And remember, if you're doing it for Mother's Day, you know, we're there to respect our mom. So you would want to maybe do a little bit more, you know, khakis for gentlemen. I would go with khakis, maybe a polo shirt or a button-down shirt. If you're going to a restaurant, you might want it a little bit more formal, and again, not a suit and tie. You know, perhaps it's a Sunday that you're going to take her out, or a Saturday, but you know, look at the venue that you're going to and just dress it up a little, because remember, we're honoring our mother.
And one of the top etiquette tips you give us is that we need to remember who the day is for.
Exactly, and you know what, you should respect everyone all the time, but you know, a little extra respect on Mother's Day, because you remember, she's the reason you're here.
Yeah, she's the one who raised you. She's the one who gave you the manners that you're using so well.
Yes.
And lastly, really fast, we're running out of time, tipping. Some people are concerned about that.
They are, because a brunch is usually self-serve. You get up, you go, and you serve yourself. So they say, well, why should I leave a tip? If your server will still come and bring you water or what have you, I always say about 10%. Okay, if he or she is extra attentive, I always go between 15 and 20%. So, you know, just because you're doing self-serve does not mean you don't tip. A lot of people are confused with that. So definitely tip. You could go a little bit less.
Because they still are bringing you your drinks and things like that.
Absolutely, and they're checking on you and what have you. Just because they didn't bring the food to your table doesn't mean you don't tip.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming in and giving us these wonderful tips. We appreciate it.
Happy Mother's Day to all.
You do.
Thank you.
And for more information, you can visit mymassiveappeal.com later today.